How's it going, Internet Land? Zachamus Prime, aka Zachamus Prime, here with another Transformers review. And the figure I'm reviewing today is going to be the Transformers Ghostbusters crossover Ectotron, whichever he's called. And I've got mixed feelings about this, actually. So I guess the first thing that I should probably point out is that this is a heavy remold of the Combiner Wars Hotspot. Oh, what else did it? Hotspot, Inferno, Bruticus, not Bruticus, the core guy, Onslaught. Like, it was like 20 different things in Combiner Wars, and then they like heavily remolded it to do this. And it's mostly all new parts. I think some of these parts here in the upper arm and certainly these parts on the thighs are about the same. But a lot of everything else has just been remolded. And some things about it work well and some things about it don't really work well. I kind of wish that, because it's got some like tan plastic here and then like paint here on the upper thighs and the chest. Kind of wish it had more tan, especially like this could have been tan, these could have been tan, and here. These panels maybe. You know, they could have been, certainly like all of his torso, could have been tanned to kind of more replicate the look of the tan jumpsuits that the Ghostbusters wore. The biggest concern that I have, so his knees are really loose. If you straighten up his legs like that, he is just liable to tip back because his knees aren't very strong. So, but if you put his hips out just a little bit, then that increases his solidarity. So there's a tip for you right there. He doesn't have any kind of a wrist swivel on him, but he's got this little. Well, I'll get into posability in a little bit here. I guess what I just want to say is that, I mean, I really like the concept of the Ghostbuster Transformers idea. I like that, and I think that's worth supporting, but I'm not sure I'm really sold on the quality of the figure. So, anyhow, let's get into his accessories. For accessories, he comes with his little proton wand here. It's attached via this long flexi cable. You kind of unplug this, slip that into his hand, plug that back in, and then he can hold it. But no posability on the wrist, so like he can't really hold it. Like, I mean, if his wrist tilted this way instead of this way, like that would be nice. If he could rotate it so he could, kind of hold it in a two-handed grip, that would be nice. As it is, it's just kind of it's the thought that counts kind of a thing, but I'm not sure how far it counts. So he's got a little bit of blue paint up here on his face, little visor, optical goggle thingamajigs. From the back here, he is a bit of a mess, but I mean, it's few and far between the Transformer that is not kind of Ghibli in some way. One thing you can do with them, so I'm borrowing this from a buddy of mine, and that buddy actually posted it on Facebook the other day. You can take a Siege Ravage here and kind of stick his legs up and fold them up like this, and he looks like a PKE meter. So there you go. Plug it into his hand. You'll be looking for them ghosts. Speaking of which, that is the other accessory that he comes with. Is a freaking ghost. This Slimer figure. Slimer is just one piece of flexi plastic. It's actually the same sprue that you'll find. This is that green flexi plastic, and this is that green flexi plastic, and this cable here is that green flexi plastic. Oh, his backpack tabs on just like this one little tab right here onto the light bar, and it likes to fall off from time to time if you handle it a bunch. But speaking of which, the proton pack does look pretty cool. It is a little small, proportional to the figure, but I mean, he literally is supposed to be the car, so who knows how big the proton pack is really supposed to be, you know, in continuity. It would have been nice if there's a little bit more paint detail on this panel here. Like, they got a couple silver paint apps, but like some red would have been good, and some like other colors in there, whatnot. So Slimer, he's just this one piece of rubberized plastic. He does have a peg on his underside. He will plug into your standard kind of action figure base thing. So there's that. I don't know that. Yeah, this is this is one of the first figures in a long time that actually doesn't have one of those pegs itself. Anyhow, so let's get into the posability. Take off his accessories. I'm even going to take off his proton pack for this, just so it's not falling off and whatnot. Anyhow, his head is technically on a ball joint. I believe it could just be a mushroom peg back there. I don't know. But his head, you know, wiggles just a little bit up and down. Rotates around just fine. If you pull his chest ever so slightly, he can look down a bit and look up more. So, and that's not bad. It doesn't look bad in any way, shape, or form. So, certainly looking up doesn't look bad. Looking down maybe is a little weird because he's putting his chin in his chest, but yeah. So, transformation joint, moving that up like that. Arm, shoulder joint going out that far. He's got a joint here that's not for transformation, it's just for posability. Go there and there, so technically like a double jointed elbow. He's got a hinge here, which doesn't really make up for not having an elbow swivel, but yeah, I don't know. No waist joint. Leg goes forward that much. Leg goes backwards that much. He's got full Van Damme. Upper thigh swivel here on a mushroom peg. Knee joint about 90 degrees. A little too loose if you ask me. But nobody asked me. Toe joint, heel joint. Well, no actual joint, but I mean, you can get a little bit of movement out of here. Not really enough to be useful. One thing I do want to point out is that, so this little tab here plugs into the knee when you put him in robot mode. So much empty space in there. Where's my gummy bears? I could fit a gummy bear in there. A few, actually. So not enough to really get a lot of posability on those feet, but, you know, they're for transformation, not really for posing. Oh, I was saying that these tabs plug in, but they don't really plug in super well, so when you move this leg, it likes to come untabbed. This one's a little better, but even a little bit of wiggles can loosen that up. But anyhow, let's get him transformed up real quick. So to get him transformed up, we're just going to take his legs and slap them together. Going to fold both of these down and collapse his legs in. There's tabs right here on the back of that roof that are going to fit into these slots on the legs. Just go that, plug those back in, flip his toes up, flip these heels in. That's going to form the back of the car. So far, so good. We're going to open his chest, put his head in, close that back up. We're going to take this little car part right here, slide that out, and then there's this panel right here. We're going to raise that up. And then this is going to fold in his wrist and then plug this in here. It doesn't really plug into anything. It just kind of sits in there. And we're going to do the same for the other side. So take this, rotate this out, slide this all up, fold in his hand, put this out like so, We're going to rotate these right here at the shoulder, bring them up. This tab is going to fit into this slot. This tab is going to fit into this slot. And that's going to be that. You're going to take these panels here and fold them down. There's a little tab here. A little bit of a... that's not a tab, that's just a sprue mark. A little bit of a tab here though. Plug that in like that. Plug that in like that. And there is the bulk of the car mode right there. We're going to take this right here, fold this panel all the way around, detach that little cord thing, all the way around like so. As you do that, this part's going to fold up. You're going to raise this piece up like that. And now this is actually the most frustrating part of the transformation, because you've got a hole here and a hole here, and then a peg here and a peg here. And these pegs are going to go into these holes right here. But this piece of the cord has got to go around. And there's a tab right here. But I have not found that to be very effective. We're going to try and make it work though. Wiggle that sort of in. Push it in. Actually, this may be the easiest time I've had with this. The camera gods have blessed me today. That's amazing. And we're going to take this and we're going to plug this in right here. There's the ladder coming up, and then this is going to plug in right up here. That's his antenna. And then this wand is going to plug in right here. This is weapon storage. But like, there's so much junk up on top of the car anyhow, like it just blends right in. And so, and Slimer doesn't go anywhere, he just hangs out. Something like that. And so here he is in car mode, and personally I think that this is really the big draw for me. Personally, if I had one of these figures, I would probably keep it in the box, because I've seen the box. Buddy mine actually has 2 of them stacked up for whatever reason. 2 of them stacked up in the box, and I think it looks pretty good in the box. It's a good presentation of it. I'd probably get one and keep it in the box, personally. The vehicle mode looks really good, like really, really good. It's got a lot of accuracy. It's got some good like tampo printing here and some, I don't know if that's probably just masked printing there. Some little silver piping going down there. Silver paint on the front bumper and the back bumper. Little, yeah, it's transparent parts there for the tail lights. Like, it's really good looking all around. I like it. But plenty of clearance on the other side here, so you don't need to worry about any of this, paint rubbing on anything and chipping or whatnot. Rolls well, and that's just about all that there is to say about it. A little bit of wonky parts in getting everything to tab in correctly, but just a little bit of effort can get you can massage things together fairly well. This panel here doesn't really seem like it wants to align as perfectly as I would like it to, but when do I ever get what I like, right? I don't know. Anyhow, so yeah, there's the Transformers Ghostbusters crossover Ectotron. I honestly think that we should get a kit and the A-Team van and I'm drawing a blank here. Back to the Future car, and then you'd have just like the whole 80s nostalgia Transformers. I think that would be awesome. But anyhow, thanks everybody for watching. You guys are fantastic. Everybody stay awesome and be good to each other. See ya.